Ladies and gentlemen, there is only the one and original, George Gobel.
Thank you very much, and I want you to know that I'm not mad because Garry said I'm short, because I know that I am short on the outside, but on the inside, I'm tall. And incidentally, this is a condition which can lead to a very tight skin. But that's not what I want to talk about. I was going to tell you something. One time, what was last week, I was sitting around the living room, dipping my martini bag in a cup of hot water, and Alice, you know Alice, she's the engineer who operates the control side of my electric blanket. She came up and she started nagging me, and I don't like that, and it was one of her favorite subjects, too. She said, George, if you can stop dipping martinis for just a minute, just look at this horrible furniture that we have to live with. Well, now, if I want to be fair about it, I got to admit that she has a point, because our furniture wasn't exactly what you'd call up to date. Like, there was a spoke missing from our spinning wheel. The wicks were all burned out in the floor lamps, and there was a hole rusted in the pan under the icebox. And you see, the way it worked, when we first moved in there, Alice decorated the place herself, and it was supposed to be, I guess, late Victorian, but it turned out to be early bad taste. Anyway, to save a lot of arguing, I took Alice down and picked out a whole house full of new furniture, and naturally this ran into quite a bit of money, so I decided to take advantage of their no down payment, 24-month revolving painless credit plan. And this sounds like a pretty good scheme, but the way it turned out, it got me in nothing but trouble. Nothing. By the time I finished, I was in more trouble than a kangaroo with a pouch full of putty. The way it worked, I went to the credit manager, and right off the bat, I knew we weren't going to get along too well, because the first thing he said was, sit down, Shorty. He said, I'm busy foreclosing on an old widow. Well, what I should have done is left right then and there, and I know it, but before I could even make a move, he handed me a bunch of questionnaires to fill out. They had all kinds of questions, like name your addresses, the past 20 years, your banks, number of dependents, how many times have you been in debtor's prison? Well, I filled the whole thing out, and when I handed it to this guy, he looked at me and he said, now, Mr. Gobel, do you want to establish credit with our firm? I said, no. I said, I'm a house detective in an ant village, and I came in here to see if I could get a very small derby. Well, now, he took umbrage at that, which I didn't mind, because I take a load myself when I'm not driving. But we bandied it back and forth pretty good there, and then he said, Mr. Gobel, what is your collateral? I said, my collateral? He said, your collateral. Well, I thought it was something dirty. I can't stand filth. And incidentally, I know what it is now, collateral, and it's funny when I look back, because it's very simple. I can explain it real easy. Collateral, that's collateral. See, what it boils down to now is, in order to borrow some money, you got to prove to them that you don't need it. I couldn't prove it, but I did get the credit, and 2 days later, I'm sitting at home enjoying our new furniture, and I figure I got no problems with Alice. I said, the place looks much better with all this brand new furniture. Don't you think so, dear? And I smiled, and she said, George, have you had your teeth checked lately? That's pretty good. What's that got to do? And I said, no, I said, I've checked my hat and coat, but I usually keep my teeth right in my mouth. Well, this went over like a cement duct, too, and she really lit into me. She says, George, I'm serious. She said, you're going to the dentist the first thing in the morning. I said, I am not. We spent all our credit on furniture. She said, you're going to the dentist the first thing in the morning. And, the next thing I knew, it was the following morning, and there I was, sitting in the dentist's chair, worried. And don't get the idea that I was afraid, because, there's no reason to be afraid of your dentist. Your dentist is your friend. He's not your best friend. Except my friend, Doc Legal, old Doc Legal, he's my friend, and you probably wouldn't have too much confidence in him, but I know him, so I have. You see, what happens is he gets to shaking pretty good, and he can't see very well. Matter of fact, it's just plain dumb luck if he even finds your mouth. He's got a system, though. The way he does it, he just feels around till his fingers get wet. And old Doc, he has a real quaint way of putting things, and I like to go there because he amuses me. Like one day, he's looking in my mouth, and which he had just found, and he says, Mr. Gobel, you've got an ugly molar there. And I said, well, I got a couple of bicuspids that ain't won no beauty contest either. And we got to chuckling about that, Old Doc, he got to laughing, and he dropped his little mirror right down my throat. Well, that's all right. His prices are fair. I'll say that for old Doc Kliegel. He only charges $5 to pull a tooth. It's $10 if he pulls the right one. But what I'm getting at is don't neglect your teeth. And next time you're sitting there in the dental chair, just relax and don't worry if you bite your dentist. Because when his bill comes in, he'll be putting the bite on you. Go on, lady.
Good evening. I am Selena Silverstein. And tonight I have a fabulous beauty hint for all you ugly ladies. It is a brand new mud pack called Selena Silverstein's Mississippi Mud Pack. I use it myself. This jar of mud, together with a little shovel, costs only $49.50. Now, some of you may ask, why buy this mud when I can take a little dirt and mix it with water and make mud of my own? You can, but there will be one important ingredient missing: my profit.
Are you a brunette? Is your hair dull and uninteresting? Do you find yourself sitting home night after night while others your age are out enjoying themselves? Then why not try hair oil as this brunette did?
You have only one life to live. Why not live it as a blonde?
Admiring my brand new chinaware and my silver-plated service for sale. And would you believe it, they didn't cost me a cent. You see, I got them by saving the coupons that come with every pack of Lochinvar cigarettes. I smoke 6 packs a day, and every puff brings me that much nearer to furnishing my house. Smoking Lochinvar cigarettes has given me everything I've got. And just let me show you how we furnished our den. I'm sorry, that's my husband. He has only 2 more cartons to go for a power lawnmower. And all I have to do is smoke another 4,750 packs of Lochinvars to get the one appliance I need the most: an iron lung.